I really don't want to. I really don't. I'd rather do anything than do this list. I will procrastinate the hell out of today just so I don't have to do this list. But I got to. I have to. I mean, it's almost beckoning me to do this. So, may as well suffer through it. Because if I have to suffer, then you who clicked on this video have to suffer along with me. So, greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lazy Universe and I'm White and Nerdy, and welcome to Lazy Universe Top 10 of one that I'm excited for. Not in the slightest. This is the Lazy Universe Top 10 Worst Films of this year, and boy, let me tell you something. I've seen some pretty nasty films this year. I've seen films that really try to measure up to the whole point of what a good movie's supposed to be, and these just don't reach that point. There are a couple of these movies that I unfortunately won't review until next year, and by a couple I mean basically like only two. But yeah, and then when we get to my best contenders list, that list is going to be short. I'll explain more of why when that video comes up. But yeah, in terms of stinkers this month, I've seen quite a few shitty movies this month. I mean, I can't begin to explain it, but let's break down the rules yet again. And for those of you that don't care about the rules, you just wanted to get to the top 10, then just move the bar, I suppose, to where it begins. And then you'll be all set and good and everything. But for those of you that just want to get on with this list and that you want to be able to laugh at me and my pain, then here are the ground rules for this list. Number one, that these have to be movies I've seen this year to count on this list. Whether they came out this year, last year, a couple of years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever be the case, as long as I've seen the movie this year, it counts to be on this list. Number two, this is just my list, so wherever I put these films in terms of badness, I don't want nobody to tell me that or yell at me about my taste of the film. If I think that the film is bad, that's just my taste. I'm not trying to say that your opinions don't matter. They do. And if you like any of these films, more power to you, man. But if I don't like these films, this is why they end up on this list. It's just that I personally don't like these movies. I mean, if you do, great. But if I don't, then that's just me. I mean, you guys can like these films and everything, and I just sit right there and praise you to hell for it. But I just don't like these movies like at all, personally. So, with that all said and done, let the pain for me begin. As we're going to count down the Lazy Universe Top 10 Worst Films of 2024. And in case you're wondering how short the best contenders list will be before I get to my top 10 favorite, of which there are basically 10, there's only 6. 6. So that list is going to be extremely short. Like, that video is probably going to be at least like 15, 16 minutes long, basically, maybe a little bit more so. But yeah. Anyways, let's get down to business. So, let's begin the shitfest. Let's begin the Lazy Universe Top 10 Worst Films of that I've seen this year of 2024. So, let's begin the unfortunate countdown. Number 10. I'll admit, man, I tried to like the original Bill and Ted. I really tried. But to be fair, it just wasn't my cup of tea, and I didn't enjoy it. Bill and Ted get their hands on a time machine in order to write the greatest, social studies report that they've ever given just so they can pass through high school. For a time travel story, this is one of the most, I would say unique, but also one of the more, they can just do whatever that they want, screw the butterfly effect. I mean, they're misusing a time machine just so they can go on to become time masters or the saviors of the world in the future or whatever the hell goes on. And for those of you that enjoyed this film, congratulations, and I'm proud of you. But I just didn't like the film. I got some enjoyment out of it, but not a lot of enjoyment. And mostly that's the reason it's at number 10. At least I got some enjoyment out of this movie. The rest of these on this list, oh boy, oh boy. Number 9. To be fair, I actually like zombie movies. I think zombie movies are great. This one, on the other hand, I thought was very stupid. The outbreak of a very scientific virus gets a hold of people, and suddenly turns people into basically the Walking Dead in a rise. With the last leg of humanity basically stretching upon a small group of people and a small group of survivors, but yet the rest of the world is falling at its heels in order to the Airborne Virus. It's a zombie apocalypse movie by Robert Rodriguez. You think that idea would work, but until you actually stop and watch this movie, then you find out it doesn't work. Most of the characters, actually, to be honest, are unlikable. Some of them are unwell written, some of them are underdeveloped, and it's just not a very good movie, truthfully. I'll give Robert Rodriguez credit. At least he tried. He tried and failed. But at least he tried to give an entertaining zombie film. Number 8. I can't lie, man. Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite directors, but seeing him turn a movie into complete crap or complete slop is just not right for the guy. On paper, this movie sounds like a great idea. An ex-race car driver basically becomes obsessed with making the world's most impervious and death-proof race car. Sounds intriguing. That is until you actually realize, oh wait, I'm already half an hour into this movie, and nothing has happened yet. Yeah, this hour and a half long movie, this movie doesn't officially begin until an hour has passed. Seriously. To be fair, I love this cast of characters. I love all of these actresses in this movie. They were all so enjoyable. But then again, I was wondering when they were going to get killed. They even turned one of my favorite actors, Kurt Russell, into a laughingstock. I don't know how that's possible, but somehow Quentin Tarantino did that. Death Proof tried to be another basically revenge kind of spree story, but didn't handle the idea well. So I'm sorry to say that Death Proof is dead to me. Number 7. I absolutely love and adore Christmas movies, but when I saw Call Me Claus for the first time, I was very disappointed. Santa Claus must find his new successor, otherwise the North Pole will melt because of global warming or some shit that's actually happening in this movie, truthfully. Now, to be fair, the film is kind of entertaining, but then again, when you take away what this film is about, you realize, oh god, they're actually serious with this shit, aren't they? I do love the chemistry between Nigel Hawthorne and Whoopi Goldberg. I think that the chemistry is actually pretty good for the most part, but aside from that, this film was incredibly boring. Aside from the Christmas symbolism everywhere, This basically could not be a Christmas movie. Even Hallmark would look at this movie and go, Seriously? This is what we got?" For a Christmas movie, this one is very, very dull, and I was disappointed that this was one of the Christmas movies that I've seen this year. And just like Christmas themed boobies seen on Santa Shot here, you think this idea would be well until you realize, yeah, they look fine, but it's completely unnecessary.
Next.
Number 6. I love animated films. I really do. I think there's something special about them. But the Fantastic Mr. Fox, what the hell happened? I admit, the animation is still nice, it still looks pretty good. But that's about all I can say about it because the story just wasn't very interesting to me. I never read the book, so I can't compare and contrast, but this film was just oh so boring and oh so common and cliched to me. I'll admit, every actor in this is trying to do the best that they can, and God bless them all for doing it, but it just didn't work for me because I didn't like it. And they really try to make you feel for Mr. Fox with everything that he's going through. And aside from the fact that they tried their best, for me it just didn't work. This was a movie that could have done more. This was a movie that could have been great. But for me, it really wasn't. It was more so of boring and irritating than anything else. For the people that like this film, good for you and more power to you. But as for me, I really didn't like it. I really thought it was dull and boring and pretty pathetic. And when you're talking about an animated movie, dull, boring, and pathetic should never be in the library when talking about gorgeous animation.
We beat them. We beat those farmers, and now we're triumphantly eating their roasted chicken, their sizzling duck, their succulent turkey, their foie gras.
Number 5. When they announced the Tom and Jerry live action movie, I went, oh dear God, no. But curiosity got the better of me, and I'm like, fine, what is it about? And man, oh man, was this one difficult to get through. As far as I'm concerned, this was bad. Oh sure, Tom and Jerry is in it. Okay, well, a majority of this film had Tom and Jerry in it, but aside from that, it focuses on our main characters, which aren't too bad. Yeah, there's a lot of big name, likable characters in this film, especially Chloe Grace Moretz, who's doing the best that she can in this film, but to me, it just honestly wasn't enough. You'd think that this movie would have more going for it, but then you'd be surprised to find out that nope, after we get done with the main characters, we are already done. I'm sticking with my theory that this originally was supposed to be a romance comedy, and then they decided to throw Tom and Jerry in it just to capitalize, oh yeah, we need a Tom and Jerry movie to come out. This movie just had to be seen in order to be noticed or to be witnessed. So do yourself a favor and stay the fuck away from this movie.
Welcome to your new home, gentlemen.
Number 4. When you think of the name Dracula, do you ever think or stop and think to yourself like, Dracula's an entertaining name, let's make it boring. My friends, the 1979 Dracula movie is a movie that needs to be experienced. Just doing other words or review for it isn't enough. This needs to be seen. It was gorgeous with the Gothic architecture, but that's about it. That's the only thing that this film had going for it, especially John Williams' musical score, but that's all the positivity. This is a ridiculous cash grab upon the name of Dracula. They just thought, hey, Universal still owns the name to Dracula, so why don't we do something with it? Oh, they did something with it, alright. Because they didn't make another Dracula movie until Renfield, which was popular enough. Yes, you're right, there were other Dracula movies. I said good Dracula movie. The others were complete and utter nonsense. Number 3. Somebody at DC or Warner Premiere said, yeah, Superman Batman Public Enemies, but you know something? We can do worse than that movie. We didn't need a sequel to Superman Batman Public Enemies. It was a good movie on its own. It didn't need a sequel that was stupidly dumb as shit. Oh, but that didn't stop the DC animation project from making one of these and deciding we can just beat the corpse right into the ground repeatedly. I love the DC animated universe. They made some of my favorite movies of all time. But this one isn't it. This movie was dull, boring, and just oh so very stupid where it had me screaming a lot more at it than I actually want to admit. I'm going to admit, I never read the comic book this is based off of. But even as a movie experience, this was very bad.
Do you ever regret having them?
No.
Not even a little? Can I tell you something?
You can tell me anything.
Number 2. Okay, alright. Somebody at Disney deserves the hangman treatment. Somebody at Disney needs to be fried for this decision. Who in their goddamn right fucking mind thought, yeah, you know something? Maleficent is a cool character and all, but she needs an origin story. And nobody stopped him. Nobody stopped Jerry from over an accountant thinking, yeah, Jerry, that's a nice idea, but we don't need the Maleficent origin movie. When I'm sitting back here going, Jerry, oh no, Jerry, oh dear God, Jerry, what did you do? Oh, Jesus Christ, Jerry, what did you do? I'll give the movie this. It does look gorgeous. There are some shots in this that admittedly do look gorgeous, and some of the actors are trying, but really? Did we really need a Maleficent origin movie? I mean, somebody looked at this and went, yeah, this is a good idea. Just no. And my number 1 most worst film that I have seen this year just so happens to be somebody actually thought this movie was a good idea to bring back or resurrect the 009 Cyborg franchise with this. I mean, I'm sorry, I love the 009 Cyborg franchise, but this was not the right way to bring back the 009 franchise. I mean, really? Cyborg superheroes finding religion? That's your choice? That's the story? That's what you want to go with? And you might be laughing at me going, that's not what this movie is about. No, seriously. There is God talking to the cyborgs and making them think about religion. This was their best decision, and this was by far the worst film that I've seen this year because they decided cyborgs needed to find religion, right? And I'll admit, this is a gorgeous looking anime, but when that moment in reveal came in, boy was I pissed off that I actually bought money with this movie. By the way, in case you're wondering, yeah, Maleficent almost was in first place because of how they destroyed my favorite Disney villain of all time. But then I just so happened to find Cyborg 009 with Cyborg, and that took number one. So Maleficent came very close to taking the number one spot again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Universe Cyborg Nerdy. This has been a Legend Universe Top 10. And be sure to tell me in the comments down below, what was your worst film that you've seen this year, or just the top, or just a small top 10, top 5, or just the worst film that you looked at this year and went, they made this. So feel free to tell me. Also be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Join me at Twitter, the link in the description down below. If you want to follow me, hear what I'm talking about, or seeing what I'm working on behind the scenes. And I'm going to take a break from the top 10 for a while, focus on my Christmas themed content. But next month, I'm going to finish off with the last two lists of this year with the top 10 best contenders and my top 10 favorite films of this year. So thank you guys so much for watching. I believe you both have right nerdy. Keep eking on. And until next time, guys, and as always, take care. And stay tuned for my top 10 best contenders and top 10 favorite films of 2024.